Dear students, welcome to our class on drought climatology advances 2. So in this class, we try to understand how the drought can be monitoring the drought and early warning systems. Here, this class would be in 3 parts. Number 1, institutions providing monitoring and early warning. Institutions providing monitoring and early warning. Key drought indicators, developing a composite index for what? For drought. Okay, right. Now, see, I would like to impress upon you that India is a vast country. The population of India is 135 crores. So droughts is inevitable. Drought is inevitable to occur. However, the governments, what is meant by governments plural, central government and state governments have extensive network of drought monitoring. Okay, monitoring the drought, as also excellent scientific infrastructure is available in India. Wonderful. Now, the best. Okay, the best is, scientific infrastructure is available. So, which is an inevitable. Okay, drought is an inevitable event. Now, at the same time, drought can be to a great extent. The drought can be mitigated to a great extent. How? By just observing the onset of the drought, that means the occurrence of drought, and the intensity of drought, and the cessation or ending of the drought. So, scientifically, administratively, India just monitor, and gives early warning systems. How? In this class we are going to study. Now, see, all states exposed to drought risks, all states exposing to drought risks should set up a drought monitoring and management system. Whenever a drought is there, all the state governments have to set up a monitoring system, because it's not only agricultural crops, drinking water, animals for not only drinking water, and then grasses for the animals. That is the food for fodder requirement of animals. So it is a complex, it is a multifaceted approach, both from the central government and from the state governments. Now, this system would provide an integrated approach to drought management, covering all aspects of drought. So, integrated approach of central governments and state governments, along with the scientific institutions, provide drought management, and they cover all aspects of drought. What are the aspects of drought? Early warning and forecasting, responsive and mitigation. Early warning, and management, forecasting, response and mitigation. These are all the things that are monitored. Now, so what are the institutions that are providing monitoring and early warning? Monitoring and early warning, as far as drought is concerned in India, it is headed by India Meteorological Department with wonderful technical support. Drought comes under the purview of central governments and state governments. So, India Meteorological Department provides the technical assistance. Second thing is Agriculture Meteorology Division of India Meteorological Department, located at Pune. Drought Research Unit that is provided, that is available at IMD Pune. And NCMRWF, National Center for Immediate Weather Forecasting. Central Arid Zone Research Institute, CHRI, Jodhpur. Ministry of Earth Sciences, National Agricultural Drought Assessment and Monitoring System. Institutional mechanism. So, of course, this National Agricultural Drought Assessment and Monitoring System is works under the NRSA, National Remote Sensing Agency. Institutional mechanism for drought monitoring and early warning at the national and state levels. Crop Weather Watch Group, this bit will come. Expand, CWW, G, Crop Weather Watch, group, and national and state drought monitoring centers. So these are all the things that are involved in providing monitoring and early warning systems for droughts, as far as India is concerned. Now, so what are the key drought indicators? This bit will come. the most important key indicator of drought is rainfall. This question will come. Please, you should answer correctly. Once again, for your academic interest, I am telling what is the most important indicator of drought? Rainfall. So this is the answer. Now from there we start our journey in learning key indicators of drought. As I said one and a half minute back, state governments monitor drought by obtaining the information on key indicators of drought from India Meteorological Department and various other departments of its own. So state government gets the information on the key indicators of drought from the India Meteorological Department and its own department. Number 2, this indicates the information on rainfall. What is the rainfall that had occurred, actual rainfall that had occurred, reservoir or lake water levels, surface water, groundwater, soil moisture, and sowing. Not only sowing of the management of different crops, plantation crops which are perennial, sowing already existing plantation crops. Once again, for your academic interest, the drought indicator, the number one drought indicator is rainfall. Now, state governments, its own departments, in addition to India Meteorological Department, provides the technical information to the state governments. The implementing authority is directly under the control of district collector. So that's why. Now, see, institutions will provide information on what? So rainfall, reservoir or lake water levels, surface water and groundwater, soil moisture, sowing and crop. All these things they provide the information. Now, so what are the key indicators of drought? Key indicators of drought, several times I told this bit definitely appear in 2022 as well. The first and foremost indicator of drought, key indicator of drought is rainfall. So from there, not only rainfall, deficient rainfall also give. In addition to normal rainfall, deficient rainfall, its quantity, intensity, and timing also is provided by India Meteorological Department and the state governments, other departments. No. So there are two situations. Number 1, no drought situation, drought affected situation. No drought situation, normal agricultural production, we get it. Under drought affected situations, decreased agricultural yields, we get it. Therefore, socio-economic and environment aspects are involved under the drought situations. Now, in addition to the rainfall normal, rainfall deficit, and storage water levels in the reservoir is another indicator. Storage water levels, surface water and groundwater levels, and finally sowing and crop conditions. These are the indicators of drought. For your academic interest, once again I would like to impress upon you that the most important indicators of drought are: number 1, rainfall; number 2, the water levels in the reservoirs and the lakes; number 3, water levels in the ground level, surface water level and groundwater level, and finally the sowing conditions, up to what extent, up to what percentage of the sowings have taken place from the onset of the monsoon date, that is the 1st of June every year. Now from there the journey starts as far as key drought indicators are concerned. Now here is an important thing. What are the after the key drought indicators, developing a composite index. See, India Meteorological Department wonderfully, excellently, in the best way provides the information on rainfall. Other departments provide information on water levels and everything. Here the important thing is there are different indices. That gives an indication of drought. Number 1, aridity index. As I said in the previous first class, aridity index, potential evapotranspiration, actual evapotranspiration. That is the ratio between these two. Potential evapotranspiration is an indicator of crop water requirement. Actual evapotranspiration is actual what had happened. Actual evapotranspiration is calculated on the basis of water budgeting. For this aridity index, Thornthwaite is the first scientist who had coined the word aridity by taking into consideration PET and ET. Here, I would like to impress upon you that PET, by using Penman equation, aridity indices, aridity anomaly indices also we call it. From there, if we start our journey, second thing is the a standardized precipitation index. This bit will come. Please note that. What is standardized? What is the standardized precipitation index? It is an excellent question that appeared at least twice in the last 4 or 5 years. SPI, okay, is the index which is based on precipitation, not rainfall alone. In higher altitude areas, precipitation comes in different forms, as you know, liquid forms, solid forms, mixed forms. That's why standard precipitation index takes into consideration precipitation. The answer is there in the question itself. So please note that sometimes rainfall you tick it. Standardized precipitation index takes into account for developing the index based on what? So precipitation. Precipitation means rainfall plus snow in most likely. This is what. Now, so first one is the heredity index or heredity anomaly index. Number 2, standard precipitation index. So like that NDVI. NDVI indicates an important the vegetation vigor. Vegetation vigor. NDVI. NDWI. What is NDVI? Normalized difference vegetation index. Normalized difference vegetation vigor. We get the vigor. I am very fortunate to work with a good group of scientists in USA, Beltsville, Baltimore, in the remote sensing laboratory on NDVI extensively during 2006-07. Okay, so a wonderful indicator. NDVI is a wonderful indicator of several things, in the case of drought also. Next one is NDWI, normalized difference moisture index. NDMI otherwise, moisture index, Okay. Normalized difference moisture index. So excellent information on availability of moisture to the crop. In the short scale, in the larger scale, NDWI is helpful in water storage in the reservoirs, etc. also. So here, these 4 we try to understand. Developing a composite index is very much important with respect to monitoring of the drought and early warning of the drought. Now, so developing a composite index involves no doubt Government of India, states use key indicators. However, in addition, certain scientific institutions, as I said, several scientific institutions I told, NRSA, CRIDA, Central Research Institute for Dry and Agriculture, so Jodhpur, Central Area Zone Research Institute, so they all develop certain indices. A composite indices will give an excellent lead for monitoring and this early warning of the drought. It is useful also to refer to the certain indices like as I said, heredity anomaly index, standardized precipitation index, farmer drought severity index, crop moisture index, surface water supply index, NDVI, NDWI, wetness index, effective drought index, and moisture adequacy index. So these are all the indices that can be used at different locations in different states. Number 1, heredity anomaly index. I have already covered this in the previous class. Just for your academic interest, I would like to impress upon you that India Meteorological Department has developed an heredity anomaly index based on rainfall, PET and AET. Rainfall, potential evapotranspiration and actual evapotranspiration. For this index, the IMD has taken into account soil moisture conditions and used water budgeting methods. That's what I told you just 1 minute back also in the advanced one as well. Now, here, heredity anomalies are worked out based on this index, and these anomalies are classified into various categories. Mild arid 1 to 25%, moderate arid 26 to 50%, and severe arid anomalies more than 50%. So this is what is the first index for what? To develop a composite index for drought monitoring and early warning. Second thing is standardized precipitation index. SPI. As I said, the bit will come. I don't want to repeat once again. This is a drought index based only on precipitation. This is the number of standard deviation. This is a number of standard deviation from what? the rainfall probability, the rainfall probability function, the rainfall probability function, okay, in standard deviation from rainfall probability function. It is also cumulative precipitation deviation from the climatological average. It was developed in the year 1993 by McKee et al. And used to estimate wet or dry condition based on precipitation. Based on precipitation, wet and dry conditions are given. So now the first index is Aridity Anomaly Index. It is a combination of rainfall, potential for transpiration, and actual water transpiration. The second thing is the SPI, okay, Standardized Precipitation Index. It is based on precipitation and it gives an excellent information about the wet and dry spells depending upon the precipitation. Third one is the Palmer Drought Index. Palmer Drought Index. So this is this ranges between -6 to 6. This is a small indicator. Next one I tell you when I'm explaining to you about this crop moisture index. I give you full information about the Palmer drought severity index. So more wet conditions are indicated by positive values, and more dry conditions are indicated by negative values. It ranges between -0.6 to +0.6. Now, see here, let us try to understand what is the moisture index. This is the fourth one after Aridity Anomaly Index, Standard Precipitation Index, Palmer Drought moisture index. Now here crop moisture index. So the crop moisture index is a complement for Palmer Palmer Drought Severity Index. It is a complement of which is a complement of Palmer. So Palmer Drought Palmer Drought Severity Index. Here is the crop monitor index, which is a complement to that one. It measures the degree to which crop moisture requirements are met. This is a bit will come here. That's why I'm telling. This is calculated based on three things: mean temperature, total precipitation. Mean temperature, that means two are there: maximum, minimum, average. In certain cases we take average, mean we take in general, maximum, minimum, otherwise total precipitation. These are the factors that are taken into consideration for each week. CMI, crop moisture index, is typically a wonderful index. It starts with 0. Crop moisture index, June 1st before, with 0 it starts. And PDSI, Palmer Drought Severity Index, would serve as a long-term drought monitoring tool, whereas CMI may indicate the progression of the seasonal water shortages. This is the thing. Large scale Palmer Drought Severity Index, seasonal monitoring, crop moisture index. These two are there. So far we studied 4. Number 1, Aridity Anomaly Index, Standard Precipitation Index, Palmer Drought Severity Index, crop moisture index. The fifth one, surface water supply index. It's a very interesting thing. It is relatively easy to calculate and gives a representative moisture availability across the river basins. That much is the thing as far as the surface water supply index is concerned. Now, see NDVI, we covered several times. It is an excellent indicator of vigor of vegetation. Several times I covered normalized difference vegetation index and normalized difference wetness index. This also I covered in the previous class for your academy. In this class also I covered 3 to 4 minutes back. Moisture index, normalized difference moisture index indicates an excellent information about the availability of moisture for the crop. That's it. Now, so effective drought index, this is a function of precipitation needed for a return to normal condition. Precipitation needed to come to the normal condition. This is a wonderful thing. Effective drought index. The final last 9th one is the moisture adequacy index. Drought impact is related to moisture availability at certain growth stages of the crop, like physiological stages. So these are the 9 indices from which we can have a comprehensive drought index. This is what I would like to share. Just for your academic, I would like to read once again all the 9. Aridity index or aridity anomaly index. Second one is the SPI, standard precipitation index. Third one is the Okay, farmer drought severity index, crop moisture index is the fourth one. Fifth one is the surface water supply index. Sixth one is the NDVA. Seventh one is the normalized difference wetness index. Eighth one is the effective drought index. The finally moisture adequacy index. So from these things, state governments pick up the best one and go for a composite index to monitor and give the early warnings to the farmers for their livelihood and then getting better profits. Thanking you very much for your very patient hearing.